best performance, or do you think it's just...
Well, those low blows were definitely his best punches.
So you think it's a tainted win?
I think it's a tainted win. I think it should have been a disqualification. I cannot believe it. Tell me something. You think if Sergey hit Andre low like that deliberately 3 times, that he wouldn't have been, what, 4 times, that he wouldn't have been disqualified? Because I think he would have. It's a shame. It's embarrassing. It's a shame.
Not overlooking them, but if people aren't counting the low blows, would he be considered to be in the perfect cut list, or is he number 1? Where do you stand in that? In the sense
I don't think somebody who resorts to cheating to win should be on any list. And that's what he did. Plain and simple. And he does, I mean, he was throwing elbows. He was pulling his head down. He was doing all the stuff he does. None of that stuff's legal. And but the low blows, that was something. Now Sergey had told me, you know, that in the last fight Ward was throwing low blows, and he was they were hitting straight on the cup. He wasn't getting hurt, so he wasn't complaining about it. But this time they were coming up, and when you see the replays, you see the back of his cup coming up each time. Those are to ask a guy to continue fighting after that's happened to him. I thought the referee's supposed to be there to protect the fighters. He wasn't protecting them.
Kathy, this week Sergey mentioned that he, regardless of what happened in this fight, he wanted nothing to do with Ward ever again. Obviously, after the fight, he feels a lot differently about that. Do you understand where he's coming from? Did he mention anything to you yet?
No, not yet. We haven't had a chance to talk about that at all. I can't imagine that fight could even be made, so I'm not going to even think about it. But you know, my guess is Andre Ward. I mean, he's already talking about moving out of the division. I hope he goes. I just hope he goes away, because I really just can't. It's embarrassing to this sport when you have a guy who is supposedly the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and he can't win a fight without cheating.
What did you make of Richard Hunter's comments? I think he was shouting at someone. That's what bullies get.
I think these people are very unfortunate, and I really don't want to give them the dignity of talking about them anymore. I had to live with them now for a long time, and I'm very happy I'm not going to be living with them anymore.
You're going to contest this decision?
Yes.
But as for Sergey, what's next for him? Where do you go with Sergey?
It's not the time to ask. I don't, you know, we'll talk about that.
There was nothing in the contract for a third fight?
Oh, no. No, Sergey has a contract with HBO. He'll be back on HBO by the end of the year. I can't tell you against whom or what day or where. I mean, it's too soon, but he certainly will be back by the end of the year.
Have you seen Sergey? He'll rebound from this devastating knockout?
Well, of course he will. And
that usually hurts a fighter's mentality.
Well, I think he's going, knowing that this was a knockout with a series of low blows.
Right.
That's something that, you know, he'll have to. I'm sure he will be able to handle. Again, it's inconceivable to me. I mean, when we were here for Vargas Trinidad, you saw Trinidad get away with low blows that were not, he was not penalized for, and at least, you know, that wasn't how the fight ended. I've never seen a guy hit low repeatedly 1, 2, 3 times and they stopped the fight. My God.
Kathy, are we ever going to see a fight that's not ending in controversy?
Apparently not here.
Well, how do you cope with the loss?
Excuse me?
How do you cope with the loss?
Well, you get pissed off. You go through the stages of grief and then you move on. That's how it works. But we are going to make a protest, and we are not going to just, you know, lay down. But I acknowledge that it's hard to win one like this, because the commission would have to admit their error, and it's very hard to get them to do things like that.
Kathy, Dan Raphael tweeted an earnings for this fight. Can you explain that to the audience, how that worked? Because it said Andre Ward 6.5 million, Kovalev 0. Dan Raphael tweeted.
No, it's not 0. Oh, come on now. You guys are just twisting shit.
Can you clarify?
No, I'm not even dignifying this bullshit. Look, he gets we have a deal with each other, and he gets most of the revenue that I take in. He'll get it. He'll get plenty. It's in 7 figures. Don't worry. He's not gonna. You don't have to hold a benefit for him. But that's just bullshit, and you will know it.
The idea with the pay-per-view numbers would be.
Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps, and if you aren't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and do so by clicking this icon right here. Oh, and if you're also in any need of any boxing gear, make sure you make your way over to ProBoxingSupplies.com.